Hi everyone, I'm Sherrie Palm, the founder of the Association for Pelvic Organ Prolapse Support, coming to you today to share a bit of my journey with you. We are encouraging women to talk a lot about their journeys, and then the whole world will eventually wake up and recognize that this is a significant women's health movement that's occurring. My journey was not much different than any of your journeys were as women. I had never heard of pelvic organ prolapse prior to my being diagnosed with it. And the day I was diagnosed, or the day I should say discovered pelvic organ prolapse, was just like any other typical day. I worked a lot of hours, I was locked to my computer all the time, and had to go to the bathroom. Went into the bathroom and was wiping after I urinated and discovered a lump, what felt like a lump down in the vaginal area, and then realized I'd been feeling that for about 3 months. And so I got a handheld mirror out to look to see what was going on down below, something that women rarely do ahead of the curve of pelvic organ prolapse. I was pretty shocked to notice a walnut-sized bulge coming out of my vagina. And I didn't know what it meant. Kind of looked like a tumor, but I hadn't read a whole lot about vaginal cancer, so I wasn't really freaked out about it. Contacted my PCP, and she said to come on over, that she would do a pelvic examination. Upon examination, she very matter of factly said, "You've got pelvic organ prolapse. I'll fit you with the pessary, and if you're not happy with that pessary, I will refer you to a good urogynecologist to discuss surgical options." I was deer in the headlights, had no clue what she was talking about. So the pessary she fitted me with worked well. That is a support device for prolapse. You insert it vaginally. And even though it worked well, I knew it wasn't going to be a solution for me because I'm busy. I don't want to have one more thing to do every day, insert a pessary and remove it at night. I didn't want to have to deal with that. So I went to see my urogynecologist a month later, and she advised me I had grade 3 cystocele and rectocele. We later discovered at surgery that I had a grade 3 huge enterocele as well. So symptom-wise, when I reflect back on symptoms that I had classic symptoms of POP. I just didn't know they were symptoms of anything. I thought that was just, my body was aging. It's just life. I twisted myself the wrong way, blah, blah, blah. I had chronic constipation for the bulk of my adult life. After I gave birth to my son at 35, in my late 30s, I couldn't keep a tampon in. It would just push out. That's a clear indicator of prolapse. I had a hysterectomy at 40. That removed that symptom, took it right off the page, so I didn't think about that anymore. I had a lot of problems with bloating and distension in my abdominal area, and I can see where that occurred now, given the huge enterocele, because when your intestines, which is what an enterocele is, it's your intestines dropping down into that pelvic cavity. Normally they sit above the pelvic cavity, up in the area above it. But those intestines dropping down, mushing in between all those tightly packed organs, creates distension and swelling. So I had classic symptoms. And by and large, most women with prolapse have got classic symptoms. But they don't even know pelvic organ prolapse is a condition. And therein lies the problem. There's little awareness ahead of the curve. Pretty much it's discovery upon diagnosis for most women. And there is no standardized screening for POP during routine pelvic examinations at this point in time in 2023. If you're lucky, you've got a good urogyn or a good gynecologist who recognizes there's something going on. But by and large, during your standard screening pelvic exam ritual, this is not part of the protocol. So it's really important to recognize those symptoms within yourself, to recognize that you're not alone, you're not the only person experiencing this condition, that there's a multitude of treatments for it, both surgical and non-surgical. You can pick and choose what you like, and you should take your time educating yourself about POP to better understand what the condition means and what your options are moving forward. This is a movement, ladies. APOPS is a movement, grassroots movement. We are advancing the way the world looks at this condition. We are addressing the shortfalls in this space, and a critical piece of that equation is your voice. Grassroots is grassroots, and it takes women working side by side, being vocal side by side, being brave, talking a lot about their condition, educating their mothers and their daughters and their sisters and their friends to spread the word. Your voice matters. Never underestimate that. Your voice hugely matters. To those of you who've already been spreading the word, thank you. And for those of you who haven't been brave enough to start talking out loud about it yet, stick around for a while. Watch what we're doing. You'll get your comfort in time. Thank you so much for your time and attention. And I'm wishing you optimized health and women's health empowerment.